Okay, hi. Last video here for body position. We're working on recovery. So recovery definitely has a need inside of body position. The first thing that we can see for body position is a crossover. So here we can see the hands crossing over the line. Just gonna pause it. And what we can see when we have a crossover is that we're gonna have, this is where the arm should be. Oops. Arm is over here now, right? So one, we're gonna have an increased drag, right? The drag from the arm is gonna be here, and now it's going to be, let's stick with yellow. Here's the increased drag, right? That's not good. The second thing though that we can actually see is when you increase your crossover like that, when I do that, what's that's gonna happen is there's gonna be a force on our body that has to stabilize that. So often we'll see a big kick or a scissor kick with a crossover, and that's gonna increase our drag from our back end too. It's going to throw off our rotational balance because we're not going to be able to stabilize our core, and then we're not going to be nearly as powerful because we don't have that stable position, right? So it kind of all works together. So as soon as we have a crossover, it's going to generate some forces throughout our body that we have to fix and arrange, okay? The next part, and we'll stick on this video, I think, to show it, is open shoulders. So as you recover, there's a lot of kind of ways to recover. You can recover high elbow, right? You can cover kind of in a swing motion. You can recover coming right over the top. Right? There's a lot of different ways that you can recover. Now, I personally don't have a preference for any of those as a coach. It seems like every coach does have a very strong preference for one way or the other. The only thing that I care about is that you keep your shoulder open and back. So what I'm talking about there is as you're coming over the top, don't let that shoulder roll forward. We often see that roll forward with that elbow kind of tucked in right there, but you can totally do an open shoulder with a high elbow. You just have to be relaxed and stable through your scapular joint, right? So if you can maintain that position and stay open through your recovery, it doesn't matter what your arm's doing over the top. It's just it's a different joint, so you can change that position all the way through here. So open chest, and when you start collapsing the chest, you're probably going to be crossing over, probably going to be causing a shoulder injury, and definitely not being able to maintain your posture and your strength through your trunk. That's why it's body position. So recovery might not seem like it be body position, but it definitely is. The one last thing that I want to talk about is kind of the entry point of your recovery. So as I'm going to be entering in my body position here, so let's switch videos one second. Okay, so here's a recovery here. So now when we go in, we can actually go in, say here, we can go in here, or maybe we can go in here. Now all three of those places will have an effect on your stroke. So depending on where you enter will change your body position, right? So if I enter too far and my shoulder doesn't allow me to do that, first thing that's gonna do is gonna put a pressure on my hips and my legs are gonna sink, right? So if I enter here, really close to my head, first thing that's going to happen, my hand's going to dive down straight down to the bottom of the pool. I'm going to cause a huge amount of drag on my front arm and a downward push on my arm because of the angle of my hand. If I go in the middle, that's probably the happy point here. If I drop it in the middle just above my head, or just in front of my head, then I'm going to be able to get into the right extension position, which follows along with my body position, right? If you go too high, you probably limit your rotation. Go too low, you probably over-rotate. These are things that affect your body position. So this is the last kind of component for your body position, is that we have to enter in the right place. And that's going to be different for everyone. It's primarily dictated by your shoulder flexibility. Okay? Anyways, that's recovery. I hope you learned some things from the body position videos. Drop me a line, drop us some video. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks.